It's your girl, the thick writer chick, Miss Courtney Lyric, in the place to be. Trying to get a little chatty chat in before work. Good morning. So, if it seems like I'm rushing, hell, I am. I got to clock in like an hour. But let's talk about the interview of the Monique last night on Club Shay Shay. I'm sorry, Club Shay Shay. And for the record, I was washing and treating my hair. And y'all, my natural girls, y'all know that could take 2 hours. So while I did that, that's what I listened to and that's what I watched. And I have to say, it was thoroughly entertaining from start to finish. Well, maybe the last few minutes kind of lost me, but for a 2 hour, 2.5 hour interview. It was pretty interesting all the way through. And so let's get into it. So can I just say, if you follow my podcast or if you follow me on Facebook, um, I've always been an African Lord. I've always been an advocate for Monique getting her just due and her, and getting her accolades in the game. So about 2 years ago, when the incident with DL Hughley happened, I did a podcast on that. When she boycotted Netflix, I did a podcast on that. And in both instances, I was very much pro Monique. Now, am I crazy about everything she says? No. She, like, when she did that, was talking about the bonnets and shit, I did a YouTube on that, letting it be known that I did find it to fall under the category of, respectability politics. I wasn't crazy about her stance on that. I understood where it was coming from, but I didn't agree with it. However, I have never not agreed that she should get her just due. She has put her skin in the game. She has done the work and deserves all the coins. Excuse me. So I have never, not been for her as far as that is concerned. And I just want to start this conversation by saying, when the whole thing popped off this summer with Taraji P. Not this summer, Lord, it was just a month ago, 2 months ago. When did The Color Purple come out? Yeah, so 2 months ago with Taraji. Let me just say, the protection of Black women, the vocalness of Black women is still new. And 5 years ago, when Monique was trying to boycott Netflix, that language still had not fully developed yet. We are living in a different time. So yes, I do agree with her that a lot of her points weren't really received because of the messenger. However, our society as a whole is just getting the language and just making the space, if you will, for Black women to A, even show motherfucking emotions, and B, to stand on their worth, to stand on business and not be viewed in a certain light, and to be able to stand on business and not be viewed in a certain light and be dismissed. Because women been standing on business for years. That's what Monique did. But was she taken seriously? Was she backed up? Was she advocated for? Hell to the no. Excuse me. I got my giant jug of water here. Hold on. So if you're watching me on the video, it is literally a gallon of water, and it be kicking my ass on a daily. But anyway, so but over here at the Thick Writer Chick podcast, we and Courtney Lyric, that brand has always supported that, because as a Black woman trying to get into the arts, as a Black woman trying to get into the industry, I think what she's done is amazing. I'm really big on range. I'm really big on taking the craft seriously if you're going to be an actor. And I love, like, even Griselda recently, I was praising that because Miss Sophia, I can't think of her name right now, but the main character, she stepped outside of her box, that she's normally put in as spicy, funny Latina, and took the craft seriously and did the damn thing. And I absolutely love to see comedians doing that. And Monique did that so well that it earned her an Oscar. Let's be clear about this. Angela Bassett only has an honorary Oscar. The fucking Angela Bassett. So if Monique comes on set and all she says is, B, I got an Oscar, run the coins, because we can say what we want about the Oscars, but it is a status symbol. It does guarantee, it does say something to the caliber of my talents. And that's whether you want to receive it or not. You didn't have to like Precious. It was a trauma movie for me. I've only watched it a couple times, but you can't say Monique didn't do her motherfucking thing. She did. So The point of getting the accolades is so that when I return to the table, I can then say, pay me a little bit more. Yeah, because this gold thing here, I got that. Um, I probably got way off topic from my original topic, which is still in topic. Bear with me, scatterbrain girl. But said all that to say, the language wasn't there. So when she was asking for her just due, not only was fat phobia still there, not only was misogyny or still there, you know, that stuff never left. We just didn't have the language for it. And she's saying it in her own country way. It may not be the modern terms that we now have, but what she's experienced is fat phobia and misogyny, and of course misogyny. Like, she is absolutely right. And I never looked at it that way because when Taraji's thing surfaced, people were asking, well, why are they receiving it now? Monique said the same thing 10 years ago. And it could be the messenger. People like Taraji. She's a likable person. She has not, even though she often, if you listen to her book, she's very vocal, about the work she puts in, about the industry and how it treats Black women. She's never shied away from that conversation either. But she is a pretty likable person. You've never really heard about beef with Taraji P. Henson until recently. So she is easy on the eyes. She's a little bit fairer skinned than Monique. I wouldn't call her no light skinned friend, look like Michael Jackson, but she is fairer skinned. She's thin. She's in shape. She's pretty. She's, easy on the eyes. She's a kind and gentle spirit. So she's built up the reputation, and she too, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if she got nominated or if she actually won for Benjamin Button, but she too got the accolades. She got the chops too. So I think it's a combination of different things, and I don't think Monique was lying when she spoke on that. I'm so glad that Club Shay Shay is here because it gave her the uninterrupted platform to say exactly what she's been, and might I say, looking damn good. That's how you, forgive my scatterbrainness, but that's how the fuck you do it. She done lost a person coming up here looking younger and better than she did on the Parkers. Just got gray hair in a black leather suit and was funny and was poised. I hate to take that route, but I'm not giving you angry Black woman today if that's what you came here expecting. I'm composed. I'm looking good as fuck. My thoughts are clear. I am speaking articulately. Not me, but but her. And I'm saying, and guess what? I'm not wavering in my stance. The same stuff that she now had the open, uninterrupted, Lord, 2-hour platform to speak on. She's been saying that stuff for years. It's been over a decade. Like, that's how you know people not lying, because the story's not changing up. So for me, I'm so glad that she got the chance to sit and not be interrupted by people like Steve Harvey, people like D.L. Hughley. And between her and Cat Williams, I think we're getting this year started off excellently. And then I heard D.L. Hughley respond and try to shade Shay Shay, calling him Wendy Williams. This isn't Wendy Williams at all. Wendy Williams had goals and I want to say an ulterior motive. It wasn't as pure as what Shay Shay is doing. Now, is it still getting the tea? Yes, but it's also giving a safe haven and a safe platform without the interruption of an overly messy, asking inappropriately rude and downright. Wendy was a handful. That's my girl, but she was a handful. This isn't that. This isn't that. So, but it's, I feel like it's more of a safe space than it is a gossip spot. Because here's the thing, if you don't like how you're spoken about in my story, you should have treated me better. Didn't Cat Williams say that? Like, is it mess if it's true? Is it gossip if it's actually what happened? And it's not like the world hasn't heard this, but we're listening with new ears. And also there's a new generation at the forefront. The people that when Precious came out, that are running the social media blogs, that are running, behind the scenes, that are doing the TikToks, they were in elementary and middle school then. They're adults now, and they are a little more vocal than previous generations that were okay with seeing a Black woman get railroaded and blackballed despite having the chops. You don't have to think Monique is funny to give her her just due that she has earned her place in this motherfucking industry. The Parkers was hilarious. It was a staple show in black homes. Let's not play like it wasn't. To me, it was equally entertaining as Moesha. As soon as Moesha was wrapping up, I continued on with the Parkers. And if you didn't, I don't know what was up with your household. No judgment here. But it was a funny show, and it was funny because of She Encounters. And to hear that that show has generated over $1 billion and these women getting pennies on the dollars, nah, it's whack. And it's like, I love her vulnerability and her honesty with so many different things, including her lack of knowledge of the industry and the fact that they will play on that. They will not stop. There is no class. She's absolutely right. And on my previous podcast, me and my co-host were talking about how, yes, we, the culture, may have the talent, but you also got to get the knowledge because there is no class. If you, after you sign this contract, and you better know what you're signing, you're going to come to work and this is what you're going to get paid. And this is what you're going to do. They're not going to pull you because they expect you to know. So we got to get the knowledge. It's got to be more than talent. You got to be well rounded. Or what happened to Monique, what's happened to countless artists will continue to happen because, yes, in the beginning, you're just happy to not be working at Burger King anymore. You think I'm not going to take what, $5,000? I'm going to take that. $20,000? You know, once upon a time, shit, people made $25,000 a year. 25K, 30K, that's people's salary. And you mean I get this at once? And of course, it seems like a lot of money until you look over at Brad Pitt's check, Jennifer Aniston's check, not even a white person that famous, your co-workers' checks, and yours is some thousands short. So this is what it's supposed to look like, but they're giving me a fraction of that because I ain't never had nothing. That is a very real thing. Why is that a problem when our artists speak up on that? And then we, the public, the first thing we say, people who are not in the industry, I wish I was making $50,000 an episode. I don't even make that in a year. And you're right. And you're talking to the wrong people about why that is so. You're right. A person should not be able to make the salary of a teacher in one episode of filming. But these are different industries. And if our white or male counterparts or other or non-black counterparts are getting twice that, then and that's what the money is supposed to look like, then pay our artists the same. You're speaking from the perspective of somebody who makes 72 a year, 72K a year or less, and that's the average person. So of course that's going to seem like a lot of money to you, but in comparison to mofos that are making $12 million a film, nigga, what? Like, so but for real though, like, so I'm so glad that that platform is available for her to speak, articulate herself. Because here's the thing, when people put that label of difficult on you in that industry, there's a union, true enough, but people don't. You know, this isn't your regular job. I don't have to hire you on my set if I don't want to. And I'm gonna go off the strength of old boy if that's what he said. Or if he's recommending somebody less difficult who might even take a little less pay, I'm gonna go that way. This isn't, there's SAG, true enough. But that is completely different from me having to hire you, me having to fuck with you. I don't have to do that. Listen, this is my movie set. Like, I'm the producer here. I'm the director here. I'm the casting agent. I don't have to cast you. But if word has gotten out that you are hard to deal with, hard to work with, a diva, making a movie is hard. Being on a set is grueling work. That's why they pay so much. It is not easy work. And I'm not saying before you get your pennies in a bunch, I'm not saying that means your job at Burger King ain't hard. It is hard, and you should be better compensated for it. Talk to the right people about it. But being on a movie set 12 hours a day, 14 hours a day, and 22 episodes, let's say you're on a show that's an hour long. Thank goodness the Parkers one, but what, 23 minutes? You're practically filming 22 movies almost, because at one point in time, movies were an hour and 30 minutes. In a year or less, that's a lot of fucking work. So yeah, you want to be compensated for it. Yeah, you do. You want it to be worth it. And then you're putting in the same work, if not more work, than co-star number 8472. And even if that person is the star, kind of like with Taraji P. Henson, sure, Brad Pitt was the star, but her not even getting 10% of what he was paid, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. And you know what you're doing. So, I'm sorry. I'm the type that'll just back to Shay Shay. Anyway, something. So let's talk about some other things that she spoke on. Um, let's talk about it because, like, she mentioned many times over that society as a whole feels like she ought to be able, yeah, she ought to be glad to even be in the room. You are fat. You are black, and I don't think she was incorrect with those assessments. Um, we could be here for hours upon hours talking about the fat funny friend trope, the fat black woman trope, and that position and how they are viewed, how they are not taken seriously, how they are usually given comedic, like even Kim. The way we got Kim Parker was she was Moesha's chubby, funny, dim-witted friend. You feel me? And then the Parkers, I'm glad it followed up with that because Moesha was very problematic, to be honest. That was my shit. But in the eyes of today, it was a little problematic. So the Parkers put that on his head. Now, yes, Kim was still a little simple, but they had fashion. They had lives. They had relationships. They had dreams. They had goals. The mama and the daughter were in school together. I am so glad for the Parkers because Moesha needed redemption. Now, true enough, Nikki, as beautiful as she was very pick me behind a clearly uninterested Professor Ogilvy, but it made it funny. You know, what show wasn't like that? Shows in the 90s and 2000s very much so hinged on problematic relationships that we held up on a pedestal. From your favorites right on down. From your favorites right on down. Martin was an asshole. Like, he was hard to deal with. We're not even going to talk about Nia Long and Will Smith on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Dwayne and Whitney on A Different World, them bust up at this woman's wedding. So anyway, so I said all that to say we gotta go nail the Parkers to the cross because she was a pick me and male centered behind Professor Ogilvy. All them 90s shows relationships were very problematic. So anyway, but what it was a platform for two sisters that were considerably plus size to show the world we are more than just some skinny chick's funny fat friend. We can get eyeballs on the screen, and they fucking did, and they do deserve to be compensated for that. They do. They do deserve to be compensated for that. If shows that went on in the 60s and 70s are still syndicated and them people can get checks, I don't care that they went off the air in 2008, 2004, whenever it was. Pay them the money. Like, just cough it up. But I absolutely, what else? What else? Oh yeah. So of course there was the mentioning of big names like Oprah. Baby, her and Oprah got personal beef. They might well just do like a celebrity boxing challenge and get it the fuck over with because she ain't letting it go. And I did not know that she was, I don't want to say sneaking behind her back and kind of stopping bags or taking roles, but yeah, it's giving shisty with money. It's giving mean girl, but with power. And I don't necessarily think Monique is lying about that. I am a fan of Oprah. Let me be clear. I am very heavily inspired by her, as are many black women, including Monique. How I knew Monique wasn't full of shit is because she gave her flowers still, but still spoke her truth. Even when she spoke on Kevin Hart, even when she spoke on D.L. Hughley, even when she spoke on Oprah, it was still, here's a lot of love that I do have for these people, the inspiration they gave me, da 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 da. But here's what happened when I actually interacted with them. So she had quite a bit to say about Madame Oprah. She had quite a bit to say about Tyler Perry. And another way I know she's not bullshitting is because even though we all thought the main beef was with Lee Daniels, she did not hesitate to say repeatedly that Lee Daniels came to me and squashed the beef. He is the only one that made it right. Like, when people are vocal equally about the right you've done and the wrong, it's safe to assume they're probably not bullshitting. And I feel like Tyler Perry could make things. She wants a check, which is understandable because if you've been literally stopping bags, and I get what people are saying. Because when you hear something over and over again, you kind of fall in line with it. Because I used to. I'd be like, damn, Monique's still mad about that. But when she put it in the perspective of if somebody came in your home or came up on your business and stole money from you or stopped opportunities from you and your family in the dollars of millions, would you still have beef? And to hell with the beef. You are right. And by to hell, I mean, well, to heaven, because I think that's where I'm gonna go. But until the casket drop, the beef remains. You are absolutely right. And he has the money to compensate her and make it right. And not just that. Here's what Tyler can do. And I think this is all she wants. He has many a platform. Nigga even got a studio. Set that bitch up and either make like a talk show setting where they talk to each other and he ultimately apologizes, or get your team, set it up with cameras just like this here. Look directly in that motherfucker. I apologize for spreading the rumors that you were difficult to work with. My passion is the black community. And how dare I use my power to stop a talented black woman from getting jobs because of one altercation or interaction that I had with her. I didn't, if he didn't realize the power of his words, which I think is bullshit, then say that. And if he did, own up to that too. I apologize that it took this long for me to say. And if you want to work together, I'm still like, the main thing is the apology and then the money. Well, for me, I thought it was the apology, but I think it's the apology and then the money. So so the apology was, yes, be to Monique, but also to the public, because when that disrespect is done in public, that's where that's where the apology got to go, or it's bullshit. Or if you're gonna come to me mano y mano and give me that, like that, like Daniel Lee Daniels did, then okay, give me meat and make it right. But you're just not gonna say nothing, you're not gonna own up to nothing. Here's the thing. Tyler is a huge inspiration of mine as well. But let's not pretend like we have not heard problematic things about him. Mostly from people who were in his earlier day plays, i.e. Christian Keys. If black power, black promotion, black this, black is what you truly and genuinely are about, and he says that he is, his platform, he has many times said he prefers the chicken circuit because that's his stomping ground and he has become a billionaire off of it. So who am I to determine if it's genuine or not? But if you are using your power to stop a black actress from getting an Oscar winning actress from getting work, if you are putting seeds in people's ears to not work with her because this, then, the third, I can't say that you're pro black. I just can't. Because that, if you follow Tyler Perry, a lot of people think that he hates black women. Now, I've never co-signed that or not. And then other people turn around and think that he hates black men, because he either villainizes, he either makes the woman some raggedy person going through some horrible heartbreak and just getting beat the fuck down by life, or he makes the men some just terrible villainous, So people have often accused him of either not liking black women or not liking black men. This don't help them arguments, brother. No, you didn't. Pull a schoolgirl telephone string messy gossip game to the tune of millions. Make that shit right today. And look here, it doesn't make you a bad person owning up to your L's. Part of the human experience is making mistakes or doing fucked up shit. No matter how good of and that's when we have a problem, when people get so attached to their I'm a good person image. Same thing with Oprah. Bitch, at the end of the day, you bleed like everybody else. If I cut you, blood coming out, which means you are a human, which means you have the ability to have human experiences, including doing fucked up shit. And part of being a decent person is when you do the fucked up stuff, going back and making it right. Period. But because when she comes forward and says, because I have less power, less money, and less influence, it's easy for them to do me like this and not have to own up to it, it makes her look right. But now that we on a platform that just had 5+ million views in one day with Cat Williams, now my voice gonna be heard. You can't silence me anymore. Because before I was just making because this was before TikTok, when she made that little Netflix video, I was just making little videos in my bathroom trying to get it out, to the world. And it was easier for people to laugh at me. Now I'm on a platform looking like I got some sense, talking like I got some sense, that is being watched by millions. You can't silence me now. So what are you going to do now? You've been called to the carpet yet again with receipts. What now? And if you ignore it, see, you could ignore it throughout the 10 years because the fact that she had so many of her powerful friends try to pull you aside and you still wouldn't make the shit right really makes you look like a piece of shit. But now you've been called to the carpet again. And you got this little movie that's about to come out with all the black female war regimes in World War II. Now, if y'all really want to back Monique up and force Tyler's hand, I say rally together and make that shit flop. But, but, let's just stand back and see what he does of his own accord. And then I think we'll know how to move forward with him because it's too much. The people in your plays, Monique, the culture can't really tell if you fuck with us or not because of these stereotypes and this and the way you making our people look like. I don't know. He's still he's still an inspiration of mine. Because I tend to try to separate the artist from the art, and he's from Louisiana, I'm from Louisiana. Excuse me, I'm sipping out the giant jug. But yeah, so believe me, the first person I saw like that was black, doing plays was him. He's a huge inspiration in my writing journey. So, but he's also still a man. You're also still a person. And no matter how inspirational you are, you can still do very fucked up things. And I think he should release a statement, a video. Either he needs to have her on a show personally and air that shit live, just like Shay Shay, so we can all see it. And three things. Personal phone call, because I think she'll take that. A aired show, kind of like her and Steve Harvey did, or her and Shay Shay. Or a public statement where he goes, cameras are pointed at him, he admits his bullshit, apologizes directly, doesn't pussyfoot and dance around it, says exactly what he did and said. The reason he mad is because she recorded him. Because he already confessed to it and apologized once. But I guess he confessed to it once. But when he found out he had been recorded, it was to hell with that. He felt played. And that's when he was like, to hell with that, to hell with the apology, I'll do it again. Let's be real, you felt played. Forget feeling played. Again, here's the thing. You would call me and record all you want to. Because what I say is gonna be some real shit because I don't do fucked up shit to people. I try not to anyway. And if I do get caught in a position where I have done something jacked up and you decide to record me, I should have done better by you. I can't be embarrassed by you showing the world who I am if this is who I am. Like, so with that being said, I would start with an apology first and then compensate. Sir, you are worth over $1 billion. I would say 10 mil, 5 mil, 2 mil, something. Something. You know what I'm saying? But because she wants the money, I thought she wanted an apology. But in her mind, she feels like she needs to be compensated with the dollar bills. So, but anyway, and then on to Oprah. I don't know if that could ever be made right. Like she said, if we were just two regular women, we'd be fighting. Because what is your problem, sis? Everything Lee Daniels do that looks interesting to you, that calls for something that we both are fitted for. Here you come snatching the role. Especially if you already knew he was interested in her. Well, hey, on the back end, I can, and hey, you can't get mad at Lee. I'm trying to be like Lee. I'm trying to create art, baby, and it's not cheap. And if a cast member comes and they like, well, you can, I'll executive produce along with you. Shit, say less. What? I'm gonna have to holler at you later about that next role, Monique, because yeah, Oprah, what can I'm sorry. Like, I gotta get he was already borrowing money from Damon Dash, so it's not let me stop. But so if Oprah slides in there and is like, I'm gonna put some coins towards your venture, he ain't finna decline that, But so I don't know if that could ever be made right. I would like to see a conversation between the two, and I feel like if Oprah would be willing to have a conversation without getting defensive, something real could be done. I think Monique just wants to be heard. And I'm glad that Shay Shay gave her that opportunity. But as far as Oprah is concerned, I don't know. I think a conversation would be helpful. And I think it needs to be recorded. Just like she does do that. She does her little sit downs with Oprah. She did one with Rihanna, Viola. Why not Monique? and it would probably be the highest rated one she has ever done. But Oprah says I don't really need the clout, and she'll be right. She doesn't. Um, her brand does not require that to do well or be, you know, Club Shay Shay is still kind of new. He's only been on his own for like a year. Oprah say I've been in this bitch a long time, so she don't necessarily need Monique, a Monique sit down to get ratings. But boy, oh boy, they would be there, and So then she went on to speak with about the DL Hughley situation. It seemed vile, the way that she was coming for like his wife on stage, calling him a coward and stuff like that. I did not know it was pent up frustration from a previous beef, kind of like that. Like she said, "I will see you again," and this was her "I will see you again" moment. And then because I did a podcast on this in summer of 2022 when it happened, and I didn't even know about them trying to clown her husband on his show. I just knew about the actual bill and the thing, and she's like, I have a contract, and he's like, well, I've got a memo, and I thought that was foolishness then, and I still do. But the fact that I come to your show and you like, and these are old school black people, including D.L. Hughley, and I know damn well if he went on some random show and some person he did not know asked him, would he rather be sodomized. I was trying to find a better word than anal effed, but anal effed by a man or sleep with a hoe and without a condom. What? I guess it's supposed to be maybe he would find it funny and be like, of course I'm a G. But most men who are kind of, and part of that old school masculinity will probably feel very disgusted and challenged. Like, why are you questioning my like what are you trying to imply? And is that supposed to be funny? And the fact that when they spoke, he was just like, "Oh, that's just what we do." Okay, bet. Now he says in his little sassy rant that he released before the night was over that is not what happened. That he did when they spoke, he did, assure her, blah blah blah. Dale, he is full of shit. And he really always has been. And if I can be frank, he is the least funny of the kings of comedy. Just saying. The Garanimals shirt, I think, was the funniest joke he's ever had. But whoever there was the guy had on the Garanimals. Anyway, but yeah, I remember thinking that it was kind of vile that she went in on his, but I can understand the frustration. I did do the podcast. You can go back and listen to it. But so there was bad blood there anyway behind that initial what they viewed as disrespect. And the type of person I am, my personality, maybe I'm sensitive, but I wouldn't want to be joked like with that either, especially with people I do not know. Like I know we're comedians in this bitch, but that's the best thing you could come up with. Like you couldn't think of nothing funny for a would you rather, like I don't know, but like something about food or something, I don't know. But so the bad beef had been brewing anyway, and she knew I'm gonna see you. Like she don't play about her husband, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Um, and she called him a coward. Mm, and and said some things about her. I think it was his wife sucking the dick of a coward. Some along. It was 2 years ago, so I don't quite remember. But so there's been bad blood between the two of them all that time. Anyway, but I believe her. He is a corny guy, and I believe his corny show would say some corny shit like that. And he wasn't there, but here's the thing. And I'm working on it because I'm manifesting that one day I will be the head of a team. And if your team is a representation of you, and if I get word when my podcast gets big, glory to God, that and I'm out of town or I gotta go do something, and they're holding down the fort for me that you disrespected a decorated guest and their husband on my show, that's gonna be your ass. You probably gonna get fired. And I will definitely be calling on my brand because it's your brand at the end of the day. Not on my team's behalf, on my brand's behalf. I apologize for that. That has been handled. Um, I don't know what that was about. I didn't co-sign that or agree to it. I certainly wouldn't say no fuck shit like, well, that's just how we do. Anyway, and I do believe that's what he said, even though he was quick to call Monique a liar. Yeah. So and then he immediately went in on her own kids don't fuck with her. I would have to take some time to research, but I really remember him not being the best husband in the world. Something happened. He had a baby on his wife. Is that Is that, are we talking about the same person? Did this person get on a, get on, he didn't even get on a podcast, get in front of his little, Samsung 282 and flip it around and say that shit? Like, I have heard some things about DL Hughley. Like, and what I respect about her, she's similar to me. We can go, but I have a code. There's certain levels I'm not going past. And even though she did say that his wife sucks the dick of a coward, she didn't go in on his wife. She went in on her marriage to a coward. Do they not suck dick in marriage? Okay, well, you a coward. She's sucking the dick of a coward. But here you go yet again, clowning her, clowning how her kids don't fuck with her, clowning her husband. Like, you don't have a code. Most fuck niggas don't. But anyway, enough about DL. I mean, I've never been a huge fan. Moving on. But her and Steve Harvey had their sit down on his show. I watched it. And even then, long story short, what he was pretty much saying was, you should have just shut your mouth and not said no names and let certain stuff ride, and let's handle stuff behind the scenes, and you fucked up by coming out publicly and saying stuff. Long story short, and what he said. And are we really, I don't know. But the main thing that I'm glad, like I said, and I'm gonna say it again, is that she had the platform to speak her truth uninterrupted, without the labels that you can so easily stick on big black women, that people will go with without even hearing. And I think what we got to finally do is hear the full story, because all she's really given to us is clippets and snippets. And then the opposing party or others have taken that and quickly slapped them, dismissed. You're loud, you're angry, you're a bit splap. You know how they normally do black women. And she got to have that uninterrupted. And I'm also glad that we cleared up the stuff about Shay Shay, because I most definitely thought he only fucked with white women. So I'm glad we cleared that up. I maybe I misheard him and Ocho Cinco. I really thought he pretty much said, long story short, I only date the snowbanese. But I'm glad they cleared that up, because he was getting a side eye from me about that. But I'm glad she got the time to be heard. I hope she handles it like Megan Thee Stallion with his. I spoke on it. I'm laying it to. I mean, I know she said she's never gonna let it go, but as far as like, don't come back and say none of DL. Your stuff is trending. I'm looking at the comments. People are supporting you. So let that speak for itself. It was 2 hours long. Ain't nothing else got to be said. The reason he jumped on that motherfucking Nokia phone so quick is because he knew. He knew. He knew what time it is. He wanted to get on here and do what society does when a black woman do too much talking. She's a liar. She's difficult. Here you go, that same song and dance. And it was very predictable. Every time I see Monique, she's now you want to go to fat shaming. I thought we had outgrown that as a society. How you pick up a weight but never lose any weight. Okay. That's it. That's all you got. She done came with receipts about how your team is unprofessional. How y'all disrespected her husband. How you showed up hours late and almost had the audience waiting behind your diva bullshit at a show, where your silly ass got a memo thinking it was equal to a contractual agreement. And all you got is, bitch, you fat? What is this, 1995? This is why you were the least funny of the kings of comedy. That right there. That's why. And all you can do every time you see Monique, she's either doing you're right. She's living. So what? Monique done lost well over 100 pounds. What the fuck? She looked good on the interview. What the fuck are you talking about? Just wanted to get on here and say some silly old man shit, huh? Just show how out of touch you are. That's all you got? She is a liar. That is not. Pull some receipts. What she wasn't lying about is that you have consistently been talking about her in that little radio show you got. You have done. You got y'all, your my precious babies. Y'all go out there and find the videos. And I hope y'all do TikTok. I ain't got the energy. I hope y'all do, and I hope y'all line them up in a 1 minute TikTok of him just bullshitting. But be that as it may, she looked good, telling her truth. I'm here for it. I do I didn't hear her say much that I didn't agree with as far as her career, the whole delivery thing. Um, a lot of women feel like she's kind of a pick me. Um, I did see a few people refer to her as a mammy. As modern as a woman as I am, I really thought it was very lovely the way she spoke so highly of her husband. And once again, I'm glad that she had a platform to speak on him, on her, because all I've ever heard is that he was difficult and was fucking up her bag. All we've ever heard is what we were told. And it's nice to hear from the other side of the table. You can tell, like, so in my mind, I always imagined that he was some gold diggerish nigga that came out of nowhere, got his clutches in her, and started fucking shit up for her while trying to make things better, but was making things worse. This is what was presented to us, the public. And when she tells the story of him and her, and when she speaks on how he looks out for her, how he calms her down, how he helps make her better, this doesn't sound like a battered woman, trying to cover up for an abuser. Even after 19 years of marriage, it sounds very loving. Whatever they got going on, she's getting fulfilled in it. And she said that, I'm not bitter, babe. I got a king at home. And I mean, there are a lot of women that are like, and it is what it is. Can some of it come off as pick me ish? Sure. But I also think it's a beautiful love, the way it was described now. I'm not in a relationship that I think anybody would be glad to have. You like, I never thought of it that way because I remember her saying people try to invite me to stuff and be like, don't bring your husband. And it never dawned on me until she broke it down like that. Why would Tyler want to meet with her without the husband? Why would Oprah want to meet without the husband? Because there's a level and layer of protection when you bring a man with you to stuff. Is it patriarchal? Is it bullshit? Yeah, but it's true. And we know this as women. I never go car shopping without my dad. I've done that once and got, it won't be happening again. Because you get a certain level of treatment when a man is with you, because this is a patriarchal society. So when they see women, they assume you're dumb. They assume you don't know much about cars. They assume you can't really guess the value of this vehicle. Now they know they got money because they know women are paid. They see those stats. But they assume we know little to nothing without the validation of a man. So when you bring, especially and if they're an old school man, they're gonna respect that an elder is here and a man. They're gonna respect that because and especially one that loves you. Because I'm not gonna let you miss over this woman. That's why I'm here. So they know. Here's the thing with Tyler, and why I think people don't want to meet with her without her husband, because I can play on your emotions. Because you're a woman, right? I can play on your emotions. I can dance around certain things. I can cater to your nurturing spirit and your kind-hearted ways if you're by yourself. That husband don't know Tyler Perry and don't care about nothing he's saying. We finna get through all this fluff and get to the nitty-gritty. You can dance around with a woman. You're not finna dance around with no man. And I personally agree with her. I think now, after hearing it that way, because I used to think they don't want him there because he's difficult and he's a diva and he's causing all this drama. Maybe it's because he's not gonna accept no bullshit on her behalf. And may every woman find love and protection like that. I don't care. I'm modern to the T. I'm very big on not being a pick Misha. But if you do find love, let it be some that you know. And what I love that she said was, "You better be glad my husband is here with me." That's what the fuck I'm talking about. Y'all think I act up because he's here. No, I'm really sparing you. He's really the voice of reason in my ear that's keeping me from going the fuck off on you. You've got it twisted. You thought he was the problem. No, he really is the one getting my head straight because nobody had problems with Monique before she was married to this man. And I took that as, oh, he's a problem. But maybe the problem is when they would come with the bullshit they had been coming with, he would be like, tap, tap, tap. That contract look a little funny. That sounds like he's trying to make you work for. He was a voice of reason. And she didn't have that before because we've been conditioned as women to take whatever we're presented with and be grateful. I'm not a woman. What is this? What is this? This contract is bullshit. So you are worth millions and you want her to do promo for free? My wife? No. So I think the people that were trying, It's something I saw on Facebook and it was so on point, but I can't think of it right now. And it was something along the lines of, people are cool with you until you have boundaries. Boundaries only scare off the people that are trying to fuck over you. So now it's, ooh, here they come, that tag team. But prior to that, I don't remember anybody saying they had problems with Monique. She had did Fat Girl, she had did the Queen's Comedy, she did the Parker, she did Fat Girls, she had released her book, Skinny Women Are Evil. Yes, I'm a fan. I've been following the work. That's how I know she's put in the work. And it wasn't until Precious that all of a sudden, when she should be at the height of fucking heights, we barely even get black women that win Oscars. And you mean to tell me this comedian actress did this role so well that she won the damn thing? And you would think this would be the pinnacle of her career. And then all of a sudden, we're not hearing from her for years. All we're hearing about is this drama with her, Lee Daniels, and Oprah. And we just didn't really see Monique no more. And then the next time we saw her, I guess she had been offered a Netflix special and it was bullshit. And she was like, I decline. So, but I will say this. I had to tap on this and go. I really overran. I really ran over. But I love what she said about the message. If you remember the Netflix video, and I might thread it in here or something so you can see it from the Netflix boycott video. She looked directly in the camera, wasn't no tears. It was very assertive. I need us to come together, boycott Netflix, da da da. And then Taraji Henson, on the other hand, I didn't even watch it because I love Taraji and I just didn't want to see her that way because I knew what she was speaking was facts and that she has put her and Keke Palmer. Do they ever not work? Okay, so I knew she was coming from a broke down place. And when Monique said it was easier for people to receive and feel empathetic or take seriously, I think because we are the pillars of strength as Black women, to see one of us that we perceive as strong be this broken down, it must not be a joke. And she wasn't bullshitting because have you ever been, whether it's in the office with HR, in a fight with your boyfriend, blah, 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 blah. When you stand in 10 toes is when you get talked to crazy. And then all of a sudden when you break down and in tears, when they have finally broken you all the way down and you in tears, that's when you start to get some sympathy. Why is that required? Why do you have to see me at my most broken to take me seriously? I wouldn't have had to yell if you would have heard me when I calmly said, this doesn't look right. This money is funny. This doesn't feel right. Or what you did hurt me. You dismiss that, so now we in a yelling match. And I have come to find with women, especially with Black women, because this is a patriarchal society, you got the ones that either want to save the damsel in distress or they want to humble you if you're doing too much. More often than not, they're going to reach for the humble button. You want to talk, because remember, not too long ago, you got backhanded if you talk to a man too sternly. Like, we aren't that far ahead in history. But I can accept and receive that you are broken down to your lowest and need saving and rescuing. Now that I can respond to. And I 100% never thought of it that way until she said it. You see it every day in everyday life. Like I said, if you ever went to HR on your own behalf, tried to do something at work on your behalf, try to speak up for yourself and get a raise, even in a relationship with an argument or a discussion with your partner, and it ended up with you in tears, and finally we get a resolution. Why is that required? Just something to think on. Okay, I got to get to work. I've had a good time with you guys. Thank you for chilling with me, and you have a blessed day.